Hello and welcome to Race Space. We're here for another round of GT3s in the Race of Nations GT3 series. Joining me on commentary tonight is Ratek, who you guys know from driving the previous rounds in the BMW. How's it going?
Good evening, Carl. Yeah, should be a good race tonight. Looking forward to spectating this one.
Yeah, for once you're not going to be in the driver's seat. You get to see what the BMs look like from the outside.
Yeah, I can't say I'm missing it. I would like to be racing, but it's good to have an outside perspective from this race. It's going to be interesting to see what the other guys can do in the BM.
It should be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Also, you've kind of saved me. I don't have to do another live stream all lone wolf out here. I know my name's K9, but can get lonely being the lone wolf commentator.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've only done short little races on my own, and that's always quite challenging. So yeah, just thought I'd come and try and give you a hand.
Alright, so we are only missing one guy here. So that's good, a good full lobby. Guys have thumbs up. So sorry for the wait, guys. We're just getting our live stream set up, but we're gonna go now. Invites were sent to Gavin. Or actually, sorry, we got 3 minutes left, so we'll wait those 3 minutes just to get him into the race. But we will go on the 8 o'clock dot. So apologies for the wait, guys. Thanks to everyone pitching up early. It's always good to get an early start, then we don't hold you guys up with setting things up. But yeah, what do you think for this first night race of the series?
Yeah, I jumped on this afternoon, did a couple of laps in the BMW, joined the new team members, and I must say, I mean, I've done the track during the day, but you put it into a night mode and it throws up some new challenges. It looks spectacular. I liked it especially because the BMW's got yellow headlights, so it just throws a little bit more diversity to it. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to throw up some new challenges for the driver.
Definitely. It's almost like driving a completely different race when it's dark. Just sending an invite to Craig. I see that he dropped out, so sorry for the blue screen of boredom, guys. I think he did join again, but I'll send him one just in case for later. Okay. We got 1 minute left to go. So if Gavin is around, hopefully he can make it.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get
a full lobby.
Full lobby. Yeah.
I think we've always missed one or two when it comes to disconnections and things like that. So it would be nice to get everyone to at least start in a race together. But still, either way, it looks like it's going to be a pretty full one.
See, Craig's back in, so it is just realistic that we're missing, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah, it's just the one. You can see there it's 17 out of 18. 18 includes us. There can only be 16 drivers on a track in this game. So we're on our last few seconds and it's 8 o'clock. So we're off. We're going to launch this event. And hopefully, if there's any disconnections or if Ballistic shows up, they'll still be able to get into the race just before the race starts while we're in the qualifying round.
Yeah, they have about 12 minutes of qualifying. They can still actually join back in.
Yeah, so qualifying is 15 minutes, but I think the last 3 or so minutes you can't actually join. So it is about that long to actually get back in if there's any problems. See, Matsutsi this is brother Matsutsi, not the Matsutsi that's racing with us. He's saying hi to everyone on our stream. How's it going, Alessandro?
And,
We can see
trying to
that
get.
track map there. For those of you that don't know, that are unsure, Sakitto is a fictional track, but it's based on Suzuka. Um, so it's got a few similarities to the original track, but uh, obviously without the licensing, they had to give it their own sort of spin.
It's quite a big track. When I was doing some laps on it before, it seems like a long track.
And it's also got
Lots
a
of
lot of like different layouts as well. So there's lots of different versions of the track. Sometimes with those other versions, I'd say I get most confused with this track when it comes to other versions. There's a few that look like they should be called something else that they end up not being what I thought they were. Okay, so we can see HVD there. He's eager to get out on track. He's out as soon as the lobby opens up. Let's see what he... Oh, his teammate out there ahead. That must be Davy. In that other Cadillac, and it is. Davy out ahead. So, Cadillac team eager to get out on track.
very nice looking livery on that car.
It
I
is.
do like that colour scheme.
Personally, I like the other Cadillac livery more, the green and black. I'm a green guy. I like my green liveries.
Got a few venturing out onto the track now.
That Ferris wheel there looking very nice with its lights. Got Rainmeister out on track now. We're following around.
Even the grill is lit up a little bit on the Bentley. That's looking nice.
Two of the Bentleys have got their numbers in the grille, so that'll be nice to see with the lights on. I think it's Jacques' car and Marius maybe. The two with the numbers in the grille. Alessandro there cheering on Davy. So Davy with his fan base again on our chat here. Kamenachi now, all the way from Japan. Remember, he's racing out of Japan, so very awkward time zones, but he always manages to get on time. So very cool from him.
Yeah, almost respect to Comaneci for his time zones, what he's getting up to race with those guys. Full respect to him. As you say, that Ferris wheel does look pretty cool, doesn't it, at night? Try and find Jacques.
To be honest, that was what sold me on the track. Was that Ferris wheel. I thought, if we have to do one night race, where are we going to do it? And I did a few tests, and that's what sold me on it.
I kind of took that as you got like the secret Ferris wheel fetish, or you a Ferris wheel spotter or something.
Well, check out how it lights up the track in that section.
Yeah, it is. Does have that nice little touch to it, doesn't it? So just jump on T-Care Bear. I mean, with putting me in charge of cameras, chances are you're going to see a lot of the BMW action tonight.
See, we've lost a few people there. I hope they're able to connect before the end. Let's just try to figure out who it is. So there was 15 drivers before. We're on to 14. So someone just got back in because we were on 13. Okay, they've all joined again. It's back on to 15. Just running wide there, Kebe. He might be testing his rallycross out. Is it lagging on your side a little bit, Mark?
A little bit, yeah.
A
Yeah, it's
little
just
bit
a
of
little bit of lag.
twitching here and there.
Yeah.
It's,
Is it, Davi's gone in with the fastest time so far. Near the wall.
sorry for that blue
Pretty.
screen of boredom, guys. I'm just checking it's not an issue my side that's causing the lag, but it doesn't seem to be.
I'd say some strong times coming in already. I only had a couple of runs around here myself.
Oh, we can see
146
Kenny's
is-
sitting on top there at the moment.
Oh, look.
Got a
142.
142, quite quick there from him. Ooh, just as I
Marius.
said that, Marius topping the charts now in the Bentley. So he's also on a 42 there. Kamenachi now with third place. So that's 3 of the Bentleys in the top 4 as it stands. I would have thought you could have seen that number in the grill at night, but it doesn't look like you can.
Doesn't seem to highlight the number itself, does it?
I know for a fact Jacques' car has got that number in the grill, so if we can't see it on Jacques, we won't be able to see it on anyone's.
Just jump on board now, Jack, and see.
No, we can't see it. It's usually... Oh, you can see it at an angle, but not straight on. Very nice car, that one. Ooh, also running wide, taking the Rallycross Joker lap. Just getting a phone call.
We can see there that Marius's time is 1:42.665. He's placed in first. That's the Bentley, and then you got Kenny followed 1:42.7. So that's very close there, and that's a different car. Kenny's in the Chevy. Rainmeister, that's Bentley again. 1:43. Kamenachi Bentley again. Davi, I believe he's in Nissan. Just bear with me because I'm trying to learn what every car was in. So strong from... No, he's in the caddy, to apologise for that. He's just going back out, probably just made a few adjustments. We've got about 7 minutes remaining of qualifying. So there's time to go back into the pits, readjust a couple of things, get back out on track. You've still got probably your warm-up lap, probably get 2 laps in on that quite comfortably. Marius is back in the pits, Kenny's making some adjustments. Further down the field, you've got new to join us in the BMW is 80. And just getting settled into the BMW. He's only just joined today, so he hasn't had a lot of running in the car. But he's putting in a strong performance there in the midfield, 7th. What else have we got? But Berry's down in 8th at the moment. See, he's lagging a little bit on the screen. I'm sure he's not driving that fast through the gravel trap. But yeah, it just seems to be struggling a little bit with a 149. Normally you will see Berries up at the very front end. No one down here, which is surprising me, but he's just jumped up. As I said, that is Jack. He just jumped into 3rd now. He will surprise me, so he's only just managed to string a decent lap together. So that leaves Berries down in 9th. 10th, we've got T Care there, followed by his teammate Shadow Britain. I know Shadow Britain is on controller, so I mean that always throws up some new challenges towards this championship. I think virtually everybody else is is using the steering wheel. Naturally, I don't think I would be able to do this game on controller myself. So used to racing with the steering wheel now. So after Shadow Britain, you got Zuzik. He's back into the pits at the moment, making a few adjustments. Whether he will have time to get back out onto track. He's just leaving now, going out onto track, so he's got a chance to do a warm-up lap. And he should
Sorry
get
about that. I'm just reading on the chat here. Davy's got another supporter with Frankie.
So he's definitely the supporter's choice, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a bit of a fan club that supports him here in our chats.
Yeah.
Alessandro also saying big respect for Comaneci. So let's just jump onto one of our newer drivers here in the BMs. I see 80 there's in 9th, I think. So 80, South African. This is actually his father's PlayStation account. His name's not 80, that's Connor there in the yellow BM. I think it's 176. Yeah, 176.
As I say, he's jumped in and hasn't had much time for any testing. You know, most of the guys now have done several races, haven't they, in the cars? So
yeah, as you can see, that lag that we keep getting, I think it's from joining and leaving again. I see Craig is struggling there with his connection. He phoned me actually saying he's having a conflict with Matsutsi, so hoping that they sort that out. I've sent sorry, not Matsutsi, Davy. Apologies for that, but let's hope it comes right before the race starts. Quite an interesting view going through that section of the track. See how the camera follows the cars through there.
Yeah. It's a very high speed part of the track, this is, isn't it? All the way right down past the start finish line.
It is. I see it looks like my brother's also having some connection issues. He's been dropping in and out. My brother's BT, for those of you that don't know, driving one of the Nissans.
You see that, like Marius and Kenny, they got them laps in pretty early, and no one's been able to challenge them.
You also don't know if the track was a bit emptier then, maybe there was more space. Maybe the guys are a bit bunched up now.
Yeah.
Just hoping that my brother gets in now, so that we can have the maximum amount of people. To be honest, with 2 minutes left, I don't know. Might be him out for this one.
With Craig at the moment, he's as you say, he's only just rejoined, doesn't he? So
he's been suffering with some conflicting internet problems with Davy.
So if he's got a chance to bang in a fast lap time.
So Craig, also South African, also new to the series.
It's quite a good close-up shot coming through that section.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. It's interesting how the camera follows the car through there. I don't know what they would use in real life to get a shot like that. A drone, maybe?
Could be. They have them cameras on the wires, don't they? Like a zip wire that runs along the side of the track.
It's quite a close shot, though. A zip wire must be right on the track there. Hope no one gets tangled in it.
He's just moved up into ninth place. He's banged in a 144, which
And that's probably one of his first laps out on track now, so he's still got to get his tyres warm and everything.
Yeah, he's literally got this lap that he's on now though, so hopefully he won't get any traffic, and if he can keep it clean, down to 22 seconds for the end of qualifying.
So it's unfortunate that we lost BT. We know he's been, other than Matsutsi lately, who's sitting there in 5th, he had been getting the fastest and best finishes for the team. So it's unfortunate to see that, because Gavin, who didn't make it tonight, is also a Nissan. So we only have 2 Nissans out on track now, with Rock and Matsutsi. If you remember Matsutsi, twice in a row he had some very good results and got his team some big points. So let's see what he can do tonight. He was quite a refreshing surprise, I would say. We got used to seeing the same sort of names out front, and he sort of took the fight to the fast guys.
Yeah, definitely, it was a shock to all of us. I mean, even I remember sitting like racing in a BM, and then next minute seeing a Nissan up at the front. It was not what we were used to, but it was great to see.
Yeah.
It gave me a little bit of hope.
So I think Marius here, if he can hold on to that, which I think he has, I think he qualified first once before in the series. So he set some very good qualifying times in these qualifying rounds.
Definitely got some serious pace. I mean, he's got, well, Kenny and then Berry's right behind him. They've got some serious race pace over a distance, haven't they?
A huge amount. Okay, I was just screenshotting that in case things go sideways, but we don't want it to go sideways, so let's make sure it doesn't. There's Marius there sitting out in his pole position. The guys will just be readying up and making sure their settings are what they want them to be, and then they'll go into their formation lap. Yeah, you can just cycle down the drivers, and we can see we've got Berry's there in 3rd place. So Kenny and Berry's very similar times over the series. They're usually around about the same sort of pace. Matsutsi there, he's in 5th. So it's not bad from him either. Davy in 6th. So we've got another Cadillac up there. Rainmeister there in 7th. And that's 78 car. 88 right behind him is teammate Kamenachi. T. Kebe in the first of the BMs, sitting there in, where is he sitting? 9th.
9th, yeah.
9th from him. HVD sitting there in 10th in the caddy. We got Craig sitting in 11th. Got AD, which is Connor, sitting there in 12th. 13th is the second Nissan that we have on track tonight with Rock. And Shadow sitting there in the BM, manning that back section. But we all know lots can happen in that first lap. I think also with it being nighttime, probably got cold temperatures, maybe we see a few spins tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be, especially with this warm-up lap, I think it's going to be crucial to keep some temperature in your tyres and your brakes as well. I found that if you keep your brakes nice and hot, it helps keep your tyre temperature up as well.
Another thing you don't want to do in a night race is get too much contact and lose your lights. Otherwise you're going to have to pit a lot more than you want to. We got another fan here for Davy and Matsutsi. Simone. hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Wonder what he does to get so many fans. I mean, I never got one single fan the whole
Yeah,
time I was in the BMW.
I've never had a shout out.
We're gonna have to ask him. In the
Oh, there,
Rainmaster
Rainmaster adding to the fans as well. Rainmaster's got a Phil no filter.
That's cool.
That's a cool name, Phil no filter. Yeah, I gotta start employing some fans. Don't know who I gotta pay to get a couple of shout outs. But anywho, we got the guys bunching up nicely there. I haven't seen any mistakes being made.
No, it's all looked pretty clean so far.
So Marius, they're just having to hold the pack together. I've never been in the front, so I don't know for sure, but I think it's about 100 kilometers an hour or something for setting the pace. The game tells you there when you're sitting in front, and if you exceed, you get a penalty, so it doesn't want to exceed that speed limit.
Definitely does add a nice little contrast at night. Looking at all the cars
all the
coming
lights.
down, and it's not too dark that you can't actually see what car is what.
There's our favorite Ferris wheel. That's going to have some nice shots tonight.
Yeah.
All the cars there in the distance. You can see those yellow lights of those BMs. Like you said. You can tell
Yeah,
exactly
it does
which
help,
car the BM is.
Does help stand out a little bit. Just coming round to the start now. See Marius just punching them off.
Phil says he'll behave. Filter will be on for tonight. Thanks, Phil.
Those are underway.
And they're off. So Marius there, once he crosses the line, he's good to go. So he's over and the race is on. So he's got some good space there between him and Kenny there in second. We got Davy slipped up to third. What happened to Berries? Did we lose someone? We've only got 14 guys on track.
A little bit of contact in that first bend.
Berries down to 13th. So he must have got crashed or spun. There he is sitting there at the back. Almost looks like he's lost lights. I thought it looked a bit dark there at the back. So obviously had some contact there, not what he would have wanted straight off the start. Davy, who's, as we said earlier, a bit of a crowd favorite at the moment, he's in third. So great from him.
He's done well to come through, but also his headlights have gone as well. So
he might have been involved. We've just got a caddy slowing down there. That must be Kenny. Kenny, something gone horribly wrong there. He's dropped down 2 positions now, down to 4th.
Ooh,
Guys running wide there. Kenny getting a bit of a punt as well. That's not looking good for him. Something has definitely gone wrong there. Marius now with a big lead there up front, so he's not going to be feeling a lot of pressure at the moment. He just needs to keep his head on his shoulders tonight, and he should be in for a good one. But let's see what's going on now with the next sort of guys. Rainmeister up to second now, with Davy in third. Comaneci on his tail. Someone in a BM running wide there. That's Craig. Craig getting in on the action.
Yeah, he's really bringing on the pace.
Remember, Craig was sitting near the back of the pack after that qualifying, not having had a lot of time to set some fast laps. So quite a good job for him to jump up. He goes up the inside. He takes both of them. Oh, and that must be Comaneci who spun out there. It's a bit of contact with some of the guys going around that corner. Craig has come out unscathed though, so he's in second. So that's a great show from the BMs. We haven't seen a BM up in the top 3 since, well,
You haven't. Fourth was our best
maybe
place to now.
didn't TK he got a good qualifying for Kota, so he might have been up there for a while.
Yeah. Been holding position.
But if he can hold it and get a podium for this race, that'll be a first for BM, I think.
Yeah. You've got 3 blokes in the pits already. You've got Berries, Yak and TK already in the pits. So obviously...
So that could be replacing their lights. You don't know if they picked up heavier damage than what we could see.
Got Rock up into 4th.
Yeah, Rock up in 4th. That's awesome to see. So he obviously just avoided some of that chaos, got himself out in front. It just shows you that anything can sort of happen. Shadow up in 5th. Haven't seen him there in a while. So nice to see some of the guys that aren't usually there. And he takes him, but he runs wide. So it's quite an equal sort of race here. If they can just hold it together, they might do well. Let's hope they don't push too hard and end up spinning out.
I think
we're down to 13 drivers, so we seem to have lost another one. Not quite sure who we've lost. I'm just trying to take inventory here. We're missing 80 by the looks of it, so I don't know what happened to him. That's 1 BM out. Remember, 3 cars on the track will be scoring points from each team, so that puts BM down to its last 3 that it needs to keep in this race.
You can see that Kenny's in 6th now. Doesn't seem to have a lot of contact. I think he's just making a move.
Is that Kenny there? Yeah, Kenny spun. Who was involved in that? I didn't see. Sorry, I was just checking some stats out.
It was Roy. I think it was Roy that was.
Okay, so a little bit of contact. I'm just pulling up the points so that we can have an idea of where the teams are sitting as it stands. So after last week's round, which was round 6, we have the teams like this. Cadillac is sitting in 1st place with 244 points. The next team is Bentley, which is 197 points. Nissan is sitting in 3rd place at 164 points. And BMW 135 points. So they're straggling a bit, but hopefully with a good couple of results for these last 2 rounds, they can get back in the fight somewhat and take it to some of these teams.
I mean, like, the pack has kind of like dispersed a little bit now. A few people have made pit stops already. I think
yeah, those pit stops, and you don't know, like, now having taken those pit stops so early, it could be a bit of a disadvantage, because if they pick up any more damage or something and need to pit later in the race, you know, they might be looking at more than 1 pit stop tonight. So Davi's sitting in 13th now. Don't know, not sure what happened to him. He might have been one of those guys that needed to pit. I see Comaneci was around there as well. Remember, he spun out and some guys went into the side of him, so maybe they are all from that accident.
Yeah, there's a few of them there that kind of got tangled up in different areas. And as I say, with the headlight glare and stuff, when you've got a big pack like that, it can you're not too sure on what is behind you, because all you can see is many different lights, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's just sort of see what's happening there with Jacques in ninth place. Let's go down to what's happening there at the back. So, ooh, a bit of rallycross there. Don't know what happened there. Just in time to see a Bentley sliding on the grass. Can see he's got a raised bonnet there. He's obviously taken an impact there on the front. Bit of damage. Must have repaired his car a little bit because his lights are on. So
I was going to say, I think the bloke in front of him there is still hasn't got any lights.
yeah, Barry's driving a night race there in the full dark. He's going to struggle when he's out ahead in the not so lit up sections of the track. The only way to really navigate like that is you need a car ahead with its lights on that you can follow.
Struggle to keep your apexes with that, especially that last corner there. That looked pretty hard, didn't it?
Yeah, so he might eventually have to put in and try to get those fixed, because that's not what you want in a night race. I see some more guys going into the pits now, Rainmeister and HVD into the pits. We lost another driver now, down to 12 drivers. Shadow up there in fourth.
Yeah, strong showing from Shadow, and is he on the back of Kenny?
So this is gonna be a great, if he can hold it, it's gonna be great for BM, because you're gonna get if it stays like it is now. It might not, but if it stays like this, you got a second and a fourth place, so that's gonna be very good for points.
Yeah. So I'd say that Kenny's actually just overtaken Shadow and gone through, because he seems to be pulling away now, and I think last time we saw Kenny a minute ago, he was down in like 6th.
Yeah, he had some contact and spun, and I think guys went into the back of him, so he's had to fight his way back to the top 3 again.
Yeah.
Rock going into the pits now. With so many early pits, I'm starting to think it's a lot of guys picking up some damage, probably having to go in for their lights. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see what's going on there. If he's still driving in, maybe we can see the damage. You can just see his pit crew there, the Lollipop Man.
Windscreen looks heavily spider webbed.
Is it? On mine it looks repaired, so you seem to be seeing different things, but can't see much there. I think the damage has been repaired already, so let's look at let's go to Matsutsi there in 5th, see what's going on with him. So remember, Matsutsi did very well in the last few races. He didn't race all of them. He only came a bit later in the series, but it was a strong start from the beginning. Sitting in 5th, it's also not the worst position to be in. There's still more race to go. Lots more can happen. But you can see, like when we're on these cars now, lots of space between them. Not a lot of battles going on at the moment. You'll be able to see the battles easier on your screen, Mark. You get those little caution icons.
Yeah, the closest ones at the moment are Beres and Jacques. There's about 1 second between them.
Not used to seeing these two so far back, but first time for anything. Check those flames coming out of that Bentley. That was cool.
Definitely going to be a good opportunity.
I think this is Barry's favourite part of the track, because this is when it starts lighting up again. This is when he can start seeing where he's going.
Yeah, he starts going faster. He's pulled away a little bit from Jack on this section.
He looks like Batman in that movie when he puts his lights off and the cops can't see him in their helicopter, the searchlights.
Yeah, but everybody else is got a, at least like a 10-second gap between them. They've all found a bit of space now and are just trying to sort of coast in the cars to the end with obviously damage. One's pitted and continuing with the damage.
Yeah.
I've always found that sometimes I won't repair all the damage if I haven't got too much.
But very dark here with Berries. He's going to need to get himself a torch and shine it out his window, because he won't be able to see anything. We can barely see him. Let's check what Marius is doing out in front, though. He seems to be having a good race. He's setting some very fast lap times now. Pretty much, I mean, he's been in the clear the whole race. He hasn't even seen any accidents. They all happened behind him.
Yeah, he's came out pretty good. That qualifying position has done him really good to get out in front. Another scratch on the car, just banging the laps after lap. I've noticed he's been consistently 143s to 145s. The other people that are on that place is Kenny. He's doing 145s. Berries is on 144, 145s, and Jack.
Let's check on Davy there for his fans. See what he's up to. He's got all his lights intact, so that's good. He definitely must have gone into the pits and repaired if he was involved in any sort of... Ooh, a BM going into the wall there. Wonder who that was.
Yeah, that's maybe...
There's a Bentley on the wall as well.
Craig.
Oh, Craig! Not what he wants there.
Yeah.
So Kenny overtakes him, goes into second place. Craig, though, with a bit of a gap. I think it's best to go in the pit. Get those lights fixed. Just get your pit over and done with, and then put in your fast laps again. But I saw a Bentley also went into a wall there, so they're going to be having the same problems now as what Craig's got.
It's all intact. Could have been Rainmeister. He's gone into the pits.
So it's going to be interesting as well now to see what all their strategies are, because we got Berries, who we saw running on track with no lights. Some of the guys are pitting straight away to fix their lights and things, so you don't know if Berries is setting fast enough laps, if his laps are too slow, and some of these other guys get it fixed and they've got their car fixed. Well, maybe they'll catch him. Maybe he'll catch them because he hasn't pitted. It's very interesting to see how it goes. It's very tough as a spectator to see Berries, though. We just see his backlights.
Yeah, he's definitely putting in a good performance. I mean, look at that section there. You can't really see where the track goes.
He's definitely, if he's going faster than the guy ahead of him, he's definitely going to sneak up on him.
It's Shadow up into third place.
Shadow on the top 3 now, so he will take the top 3 for BM, where Craig was earlier holding that first BM position in second. Who's that behind Shadow? That looks like Matsutsi.
Yeah.
So Matsutsi is sitting in 11th, so he's been lapped obviously by Shadow and the top 3 guys. Barry is up to 4th, so he's climbing that ladder slowly. Don't look in your mirrors, Shadow. You've got big angry Nissan right on your tail there, trying to get past. Ooh, Shadow spins out. Bit of pressure there, I think, from Matsutsi.
Don't think he's lost too much time there, but yeah, that
doesn't seem to have gotten any damage either, so that's good for him. He can just get back into it.
I always find after a mistake like that, due to pressure being applied, it takes you a lap to just to
Get in the
regather the
groove
car,
again.
you know. Yeah. You got Kenny up into second now. He's 31 seconds behind Marius. Don't think either of them two have pitted yet. I can't recall seeing Kenny in the pits, but yet he was quite a way down the field, wasn't he? But I think that was down to that
Yeah, I'm not sure if he did. Didn't Berries pit though quite early? Maybe that's why Berries hasn't wanted to pit again. Maybe he picked up damage afterwards as well. You can see when we cycle through these cars, lots of damage on the cars with their bumpers up and stuff. This was obviously a new challenge for the guys. They're used to racing most of these races during the day. This is the only night race of the series, so it puts an interesting twist on things, kind of like the weather. Our next round has the potential to be quite a wet race, so it'll be another interesting one to watch. Comaneci seems to be slowing down a lot there. Maybe just letting his teammate through there. Is that Marius?
Is that Marius? Yeah, it must have been Marius going
might
past.
Be why he slowed down there, just to get out of his teammate's way. If these guys are on their radios, they're probably also chatting to each other, just letting each other know what's going on.
I think Marius is there. You've got Jacques, that's the one that's just gone past. Marius will be going into the shot next, so we've got quite a Bentley group in at the moment, but bearing in mind that Jacques and Comaneci are a lap down on Marius, aren't they?
Yeah, and Rainmeister was off to a good start at the beginning, but he's dropped back now into 12th. We don't know if that's due to some damage. Maybe he had to pit a few too many times. Matsutsi sitting in the pits now in 11th place. Craig also going into the pits. That's the second time for Craig.
Yeah.
So we don't know, maybe they didn't fix what needed to be fixed. Maybe he picked up more damage. But his race took a turn for the worse by the looks of it.
Here you got Berries catching up to the back of Shadow Britain.
So Berries there without his lights on. Very hard to see him down some of these long straights.
I'll see if Shadow Britain shouldn't be too far in front of him. I don't see him at the moment. Kenny's car looks pretty much all intact still, doesn't it?
Which is why I think maybe he did pit, because he got a bit of a battering near the beginning, I think.
I think it was first lap, yeah, he could have pitted on the first lap and has just come through. Come through the pack, you know, it picked up the advantage of when other people have pitted and has had a relatively clean run from after that first few laps of incidents.
I think Berries is wearing his night vision goggles tonight, because everyone else pits when they don't have lights. Berries just going for it, flat out.
Berries, he's like the Matrix, he can only see in numbers. See, that's Berries onto the back of Shadow Britain now.
Yeah, so Berries now fighting for position. He's gonna go up. Shadow might not even be able to see him, to be honest, without those headlights. It's quite a tough thing, actually. Could be quite dangerous. So let's hope for the best here, that nobody crashes out. Very tight section of the track, quite difficult to make a move there. if any moves are to be made, it's probably going into the corner after this straight.
Don't forget, this is where Shadow made the mistake with the
With
the Nissan
Matsutsi
that
behind him.
applied the pressure. Yeah. Still held position though.
He's held on to it. No,
Maybe
he's
the same
spun.
mistake.
He did that mistake again. It's exactly the same
Yeah.
one.
It's a show. It's still a very strong showing from Shadow Britain. It just, I'd say he's getting probably excited to be in the position, and just kind of like feeling the pressure from these top guys. It's a big experience to him, isn't it?
So Kenny and Berries, they really fought their way back to that top 3 that we're used to seeing them in.
Well, the order at the moment, you got like Bentley, Caddy.
Let's follow Davy for a bit. Let's see what's going on there. This is for his fans.
So after Kenny and Berries, Davy's the next place.
Caddy.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we seem to be missing HVD. We lost another one now. I see we're down to 11 cars. So this turning out to be quite the test of endurance, this race.
we're down to the 2 BMWs, that's Shadow and TK there. Craig must have left at some point or disconnected.
Lots of people showing their support for Berries tonight, getting lots of messages through for him.
We've got Jack that's made position. Shadow Britain's gone through his pit stop at the moment. Jack and Comaneci have both got past him.
Let's see, are there any battles going on at the moment? Let's see, let's ride on with Roy. We haven't seen a red Nissan for a while. Let's check what he's doing. One of our Nissans didn't show up tonight, and the other one disconnected, so we're missing BT, who was disconnected earlier in the practice, right at the end, or the qualifying, I mean. So this is the only red Nissan out on track at the moment, with Matsutsi and the blue Nissan.
Pull that away, I presume that.
Must be a front runner trying to come past there. Just letting him through. Can see a BM there in the background.
Well,
That might be TK Bear,
right?
so that could be a battle about to start. Because that'll be a fight for position between the two of them.
Seems to be catching him quite quickly down that section.
So we've got just over 18 minutes left of this race. You know who we did lose? We lost Craig.
Yeah.
Craig is out, so we've only got 2 BMs on track at the moment after losing 80 very early on. So that's not what BM would have wanted for points. Obviously you want to have at least 3 cars out there to get your 3 cars worth of points. So it's going to be tough for Nissan and BM tonight. Caddies have still got 3 cars, I think, with Davy, Kenny and Berries. And there we can just see TK Bear coming up on the back of a rock there. Yellow lights of those BMs.
Seem to catch him down pretty quick, but making the pass on them is a different story, isn't it? Seem to both be both similarly paced.
I think TK Bear goes through that section a bit faster. This is where he seems to make most of his time.
He looks like he's got a strong run now.
He's going to try race him to that corner and he goes through. But can he hold it around this corner? We know that sometimes the guys spin going into this long right-hander. But no, he seems to be through. So that's TK Bear moving up to 8th now from 9th.
Tell you, there's another close pair in Kenny and Berries. Berries has actually got past Kenny.
Berry is up to 2nd place now with no lights. So Kenny probably made a mistake that we missed.
There was
because
quite a gap
for Berries to be setting fast lap times with no lights, that's quite an impressive thing. Marius though hasn't seen a driver since lap 1 of this race.
Just out in front, isn't he? And
listen to the sound of that Bentley compared to some of these other cars. It's got like a completely different sound.
Marius has got a very strong lead as well, because if you look at where he is on track, just coming over the start-finish line, Berry's in 2nd, and he's just round, I'd say, back turn 4, 5.
Super dark. It's tough to watch Berry. He's doing an epic race, but we can't see anything. See, the BMs have bunched up there. We got Shadow in 7th and TK Bear there in 8th. So Shadow dropping down quite a few positions, unfortunately, for him.
Seems to be losing a lot of time as well at the moment. There is going for a tight part of the track.
Can also be that corner where he had made those mistakes. I mean, make a couple of those mistakes in a row, it can damage your confidence a little bit.
Got a fair gap between
the BM
Shadow
sounds
Britain.
very quiet compared to the other cars. Like, it doesn't sound like it's got as much oomph.
Yeah, even when you race it, it doesn't like to rev. It's not a high revving car. The torque of the engine makes you short shift. So you're not even redlining it, and that's where you get your maximum power from. It takes some adjusting to. After all the other cars that are raced, normally you can redline a car, and that's where you get your maximum power. It's a good car, but it just lacks. And to me, I wasn't a strong GT driver. It's my first championship in this. I enjoyed learning about the car, but it
ooh,
seems to lack.
Check that drift. Does he hold it? He does too.
Yeah.
So impressive there. He's just showing us some of his rallycross skills. I'd like to see him take that car out on the rallycross track.
So Marius is in the pits at the moment, which is you can see it. It's just coming out now. He's
just finishing his pit, but he's got plenty time. He just needs to keep things under control, and I reckon he's probably got this one. We've got just over 12 minutes left.
Yeah.
We know he's got the pace. He did set the fastest lap time in qualifying, so he shouldn't struggle too much. Barry's back down to third, so can he manage to get past them at some point there? Barry's car looking trashed though. It looks like his windows are probably smashed. His car is... well, we can't even see it properly in the dark. But it's a bit battered. It's got some battle scars on it.
I mean, like Kenny. So we're presuming that he has pitted.
I reckon he's pitted because he doesn't look like he's got much damage.
Nah, and he was 27 seconds behind Marius now after everyone's pitted on that front. That would be. It would have to make something incredible to close that gap time on Marius, because the way that he's seemed all night, he's had no pressure.
It would take Marius to make a few mistakes and these caddies to put in extremely fast laps. I mean, they can do it. We've seen it. They climbed almost from the back to the front again, so anything's possible. Yeah. But if Marius just keeps things under control, he's looking pretty comfortable right now in that first place. I think that would be his first win of the series as well. I think Shark picked up a few wins in that Bentley, but not Marius yet.
I'm just looking now. I mean, like, you've got Jack. He's through on 4. He's back to 4th now. And remember, he had a lot of contacts in the first couple of laps. And Cameracci's not too far behind him in 5th place. So that's kind of the normal names that you see up at the front, isn't it? Even though they had heavy contacts, they have worked their way back into the higher ranked positions.
Yeah, they got a lot of their damage at the start, which dropped their names down, but I think some of those other guys that were sitting there that sort of took their places also got some damage from mistakes and accidents later on.
Yeah.
So it kind of balanced itself out again. The only guy we haven't seen make a big mistake yet is Marius.
Not Davy up into 6th. I think he'll be happy to come through. He's got an eventful night, hasn't he? And
can see all these cars with their lights on, only Barry's without his. So maybe he turned them off. Maybe they're not broken. Maybe he turned them off. He wanted a bit more power from that Cadillac, trying to go a bit faster. My uncle who's watching this race, he sent a message to me. He says Barry's must change his PlayStation name to Dark Vader.
Dark Vader. Yeah, that's a good one. That's he's definitely picked up a name after tonight's race, hasn't he?
He's no longer Dingleberries. He's
You've got the power to change that on Discord. You can overwrite his name on there.
Unfortunately not in game, but on Discord maybe.
I mean, like, just looking at the times now, they have kind of settled down, and Kenny seems to be holding the second place to Berry's. Gaps remaining the same between them two. Even Jack, I think all them times now are all sitting pretty stable. Nobody's making any big gains there. We're all roughly around the same lap time.
But we can see, looking at that list now, it's Marius, which is Bentley, and we got Kenny, Cadillac, Berries, Cadillac, Jacques, Bentley, Comaneci, Bentley, Davy, Cadillac. So it's all Bentleys and Cadillacs again up top. That's sort of been the majority of the top guys have been those cars in this series. So it looks like for the rest of the series, they're going to be the ones fighting for the win. Matsutsi sitting there in 11th, so he hasn't had the race that he would have wanted. He's also lost a light there. It looks like he lost a lot of the front of his car as well. It almost looked like he didn't have a bonnet, or no?
No, I don't think he has.
No bonnet, no bumper. He's missing most of his car. He kind of looks like the Terminator. Just shredded. He's only got one working eye left on the front of his car.
We've just had one change of position. T-Care Bear has managed to get past Shadow.
So it's not going to do much for team points. It's just a change of positions between the two. But with 6 minutes to go, let's see if they can keep pushing and cars ahead make mistakes. You never know. Hopefully in the next race we got a bit more BMs and Nissans out on track to compete, because those guys will I guess be fighting for third place in this series with just one more race to go.
Yeah, and the new guys that have turned up at the BMW team, they're going to have a lot more time to practice the track, aren't they, and the conditions, get more used to the car.
Yeah, let's just hope everyone's connections hold up. That's also a defining factor of this online racing.
Mainmeister, haven't seen an awful lot of him tonight.
Yeah, let's see what he's doing there. He started off very well. A lot of those accidents at the start got him up to a higher position, but looking at his car, you can see he's also got a bit of damage there. So was either involved in some accidents or made a few mistakes of his own. Does have all his lights on, so I imagine he's probably pitted since that accident or whatever happened. Going through the tunnel there.
I do like that grille on that the Bentley.
It is a nice grille. I don't know if it's the latest ones. I'm sure the number has like a light behind it on the newer versions. I mean, this is, with this game being a bit old, these aren't the newest versions of the cars.
Right. Roy's doing. Mark, can you say?
As you can see, his bumper there is just hanging off a bit. It looks like his car's talking. Just over 3 minutes left of this race now.
It's definitely with the, whether it's been the track or the with the nighttime.
I reckon there's maybe something going to happen there with Kenny and Berries. I doubt they'll push each other too hard, but there might be a little bit of close racing there. Can't see Berries in the background because he's a stealth ninja in the shadows. If you look real hard, you might see him. There, you can just check him there in the background. See that stealth ninja there going through the shadows? He's one with the night. If you blink, you'll miss him. Can hear him though. Imagine being in one of these cars and then you just see like a flash behind you. You don't know what it is.
I mean, like, you got them guys roughly about 2 seconds between them. They seem to be holding that.
Close race between these two teammates, and then just behind them you got Shark and Comaneci. Look like they're pretty close together.
Comaneci and then can't just see Jacques.
I think that's why these teams have been so successful, is that they've managed to keep their teams very closely bunched together on the results. You know, with teams like Nissan and BM, you get every now and again a good result here or there, but it's not everyone on the team all at once. You've got a lot of guys spread out on the table.
Yeah.
Whereas teams like Bentley and Cadillac, they're always getting those sort of top 6 or so positions.
43 seconds to go. Where's Marius out on track now? Try and find him.
So this is that long straight. I think he's just going on at the back there. He's going to be heading towards the Ferris wheel. You can see that Ferris wheel is the only light Berries has on track to know where he is.
That's his grid reference. That's where he relates every corner to where that Ferris wheel is. I think Marius is going to finish the race here. It's going to be close whether he goes on to another lap.
I think he will do one more. It looks like he might slow just before. No, he's finished. It's perfectly timed, almost to the second. So that's the race over. Marius over the line. We're going to check Kenny now, just coming past that Ferris wheel with Stealth Ninja there in the background. You can just see him hidden in the shadows. And he crosses the line in second, with Berries, his teammate, crossing in third right behind him. I wonder if he knew how close his teammate was.
Yeah, he probably didn't even see him there, did he?
Shark Racing now just coming around that last corner. And he's going to go on to get 4th place. Right behind him is teammate Comaneci going for 5th. Crossing the line now. So that's the top 5. Let's see if they're doing any celebrations there at the front. Let's go on to Marius. No, Marius just keeping it cool. Those guys not doing much. Maybe Barry's doing a big burnout with no lights on. There Barry's doing his
hooligans.
Yeah, the hooligans over there. Barry's going stupid. That's how he lost his lights. Okay, but let's see the rest of the guys finish their races wherever they are on track. Davy over, I think. There he is sitting there. We've got Care Bear just finishing now.
Shadow Britain.
Shadow will be behind him, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got Rock just coming to that last corner as well. So that's it. So the rest of the guys would have been like a lap ahead, so they would have finished just before Roy. But that's the standings, everyone. So it was a good race from those who made it. We lost a lot of guys along the way.
It's definitely a good race. I mean, congrats to Marius and Kenny and Berries. They got up there. You know, Jacques and Comaneci, they all had to fight to get back to them positions, and they've done well.
Yeah, it was a good race from the guys. Very different to watch a race that's in the dark after watching all the ones in the daytime. And who knows if my weather wheel that I spin before the event is in our favor, we might get to see quite a heavy rain race for the last one. We uh, might also shake things up a bit. Maybe it'll be like a thunderstorm at Fuji.
Yeah, you never know. It's down to your wheel, and it can throw up some. Be interesting to see which cars are more stable in the heavy, wet rain.
We did do one wet race previously. It was Donington, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, Donington. So we did see, it wasn't that heavy though, I don't remember. It seemed to be, there was maybe a little bit, I think it was mainly the puddles though built up. That was the issue.
Yeah.
Um, but the actual rain itself probably wasn't too heavy. Um, but with how it works with my weather wheel that I spin just before the race so that nobody knows the weather to make it a bit more realistic, we could have rain the entire race. We might just have a little bit of rain. We don't know yet. You'll have to watch next week to find out. But well done to everyone that was racing. I hope everyone that was watching enjoyed the stream. And you can see us on Monday for Rallycross. We'll be at Lohek.
Looking forward to that one. Should be exciting as well.
After our last showing, Mark, we're gonna need to to put in our best, eh? Mark and I will be racing that one in our minis, so if you want to see how we could crash a car like instead of commentary, you'll see us there. Anywho,
we can crash commentary, we can crash a car.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on Monday.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.